gentlemen, we are back at it again with another Lucha Underground review. I'm joined here by K Mullins Incorporated and Miggy Mania once again for some more Lucha Underground. It is the first night. It is the first night of Ultima Lucha Dos. We had a lot of wrestling tonight.
So much. We had 4 matches in an hour.
Yeah, near the end of it, I thought, man, are we gonna get 2 hours actually?
Yeah, that's what there was that time where we literally all thought, oh, they might stretch to 2 hours this week, and then there might just be the 1 hour next week.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going on at first. But we start off with, by the way, every single person that won the match, I completely guessed wrong. Like I did not see this coming at all.
Yeah.
Like
from wrong on all 3.
From a standpoint, no, all 4 for me. From a standpoint, it didn't make any sense. But that's how it is. First match of the night is the Mac versus Cage, and y'all know, if you know who I am, you know I'm a big Brian Cage fan. The guy's great. He's a great heel, but but in Lucha Underground, you put him in America, he's the best face in the world. People just freaking adore him. He's a great guy on social media. I know he has a beef with who's the one guy from Tough Enough? Patrick Clark. Patrick Clark from
Patrick Clark.
Yeah, because they both have that kind of overly American style gimmick.
Donald Trump gimmick.
Yeah, even though Cage isn't really running it in Lucha. Yeah, even though Cage really isn't running that in Lucha, it's only like a AAA thing. The Mac, on the other hand, though, he's more of just a fun-loving wrestler guy. He doesn't have too much.
Similar to Big E.
Yeah, I guess
He reminds me of a more agile Big E.
Yeah, so we kick off. Jerry Cueto comes out, and he's looking all Butler-like. It's fantastic, and he says this match is a Falls Count Anywhere match. During the match, we have some great stuff, such as the Mac tried to do a Stone Cold Stunner with, I believe, beer. Could have been Dos Equis, could have been anything. I don't know what it was, but he was literally doing the Stone Cold thing. There's piñatas, stop signs, everything. And then I felt like all the pinfalls or all the wins for tonight were very subtle. Like, it just really happened fast.
The center block.
Yeah, like everything kind of just builds up to that point for the pin in Lucha, and then it happens. I think it happened really fast for all these matches tonight, in my opinion. We saw the Mac win. I put on my notes, I'm like, not too happy about that, but it's okay. The Mac's a great guy, great wrestler. Someone in like the wrestling world is probably like hating this for having 2 big guys who they're really fast paced, and then they got a little slow for when they were brawling, and then they just kind of ended it. But what do you guys think about the first match?
I just the whole ending just kind of really confused me, because as you saw, you had Cage slam the Mac's head into the cinder block. The cinder block broke, and then all of a sudden, boom, Cage gets pinned. Yeah. Literally less than 10 seconds later, Cage goes down for the 3 count.
Yeah. I think Cage should have won it. I don't know if he should have won the final match, but he definitely should have won this
I was going to say, well, they've just been pushing Cage all season long. Like, literally all season long, Cage has been built as this unstoppable force.
With this thing with Johnny Mundo, Chavo Guerrero, and Chavo Guerrero Jr. to be exact, and I forget someone else, but he's had a bunch of great feuds. In my opinion, I believe he should have been the guy to win the Gift of the Gods title and then go on to, win it. But I guess it does make full circle with Pentagon Jr. being the guy to face Matanza, and fingers crossed beat him. Like, I'm a big fan of Jeff Cobb, I believe that's his name, or Joe Cobb. I believe it's Jeff Cobb. I have to check again, because he's doing stuff in PWG also. Jeff. But I don't think he necessarily should have got the title right off the bat. It kind of does make sense, but it kind of doesn't, because he is Jerry Cueto's brother. But at the same time, it's like, maybe if it was like already...
He's pretty green.
Yeah, he's pretty green. Maybe if it was already like an established wrestler that came in underneath the mask as Matanza, then I'd be more okay with it. But it's the fact of I don't know what we're getting ourselves into. Maybe Cage versus Pentagon Jr. would have been the more logical route to take, and then just have the crowd behind Cage and Pentagon Jr. Even though he's really beloved, he's still a heel at heart. So, next match is a Boyle's Heights bar fight between Tejano. Even though they cut off Tejano Jr., it's just what was it, El Tejano or Tejano
Yeah, it was just it was just I think it was just was it?
Just Tejano. Just
yeah.
Tejano, whatever.
Versus Son of Havoc.
Texano and...
So this match in my opinion was kind of the worst match of the night, aside from the 5-minute match at the end. But because it was
into a fight.
The highlight of it was Tejano literally, having that spot over the whole their little bar that was set up, like an impromptu bar for some reason that was set up.
Yeah, with bottles and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dario Cueto.
Keg.
Dario Cueto, and I quote, got called a cheap mother effer by Vampiro. I was like, what?
Yeah, like word for word.
What was your thoughts on this match?
This was pretty good. One of my favorite spots was Texano going right through the entire bar.
And of course, Son of Havoc gets the win tonight, and it is Mac versus Son of Havoc. And it is a Falls Count Anywhere 2.0 match. It was okay. We had a lot of wrestling, and that is something really odd for Lucha Underground. I'll tell you that. Lucha Underground usually is just like story, jam-packed.
Like there was no story tonight, really.
Maybe that's just to get us, get us warmed up and ready for the next.
Like next week, there's gonna be all story. We'll get 2 matches next week.
Yeah, and it'll probably be like really long matches too. You think so? Mac and Son of Havoc was pretty decent. In the end, Son of Havoc wins, and we get to see what the gift is, because at the beginning of the show, Dario Cueto's like, hey, whoever wins this impromptu 4-man tournament, you're going to get a gift. Cueto comes out looking all snazzy. He has I forget who she is, but the maid with him. She has the briefcase. It's $250,000. There's a twist. If you pick the other briefcase, you get the main event Ultimate Lucha Trace. He says he's going to fight for the title, even if it was $250 million. You're crazy. But he has to beat someone else. Dario Cueto's like, you have to beat the next man. Famous B comes out. This guy, Famous B, I actually really like him. Famous B comes out, and he cuts this very brief promo, and then he turns around, and you see on the back it says Dr. Wagner Jr. in the back of his really nice jacket. Yes, and Dr. Wagner Jr., who I believe is almost 50 years old right now, so it's almost,
The funniest part was earlier in the show, we were talking about all the people, because I was like, well, okay, who do we think is going to die off in Ultima Lucha?
Yeah.
And I was just going over all the people, and I said that Dr. Wagner Jr. died, and they're like, no, he didn't die, he just disappeared.
He went missing, like Alberto El Patron and
he went
Hernandez. Okay. Yeah, all of them just went missing for a while. Joey Ryan's still looking for him.
Yeah, but now that's one person off the list that he doesn't have to look for anymore.
Got that right. So, it's Son of Havoc, Dr. Wagner Jr. Literally, there was 5 minutes left of the show. I was like, how are they gonna do this? Like, is this gonna be a squash? And it was a squash. It was. Dr. Wagner Jr. wins. They get the $250,000 because whoever wins the match gets the other briefcase. So if Son of Havoc would have won, he would have got to main event Ultimate Lucha Trace for the Lucha Underground Championship. He lost. It's kind of sad. It was kind of a filler episode, if you ask me, in my opinion, especially for a night 1 of Ultimate Lucha. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the overall show?
Last year they had a 1-hour episode and a 2-hour episode the next week.
Yeah, well, I know there's...
So there's, I think, 3 nights with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have 1 hour each for...
So, what was your thoughts on tonight? On the bit of a filler episode?
I actually enjoyed it. Like I said, I love the cliffhangers at the end. I love the surprise stuff, because I feel like this is like their WrestleMania. The next 3 weeks, this 3 weeks combined is like their WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
They build up to it, and now this is it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see surprises. I want to see crazy stuff. Like I want to see stuff that's gonna intrigue me. It's because at the end of the day, it's also it's a television show and a wrestling program.
Especially if you
And
look
that was
back
a good
at
surprise seeing someone that we hadn't seen.
yeah, he came back from the dead, like Milbright does. If you look at last year's Ultimate Lucha Uno, I guess, we had the crazy Pentagon Jr. versus Vampiro,
And then the reveal that
that it was Vampiro. We have a death match though coming up, so I mean that that will be our crazy thing. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for everything else. This was kind of an impromptu show.
The next 2 weeks are...
So, what'd you say?
The next 2 weeks are going to be very fun getting the rest of the content that, like, we still have, because we still have all those matches that they had actually booked.
Exactly. So, final thoughts, everybody. Final thoughts.
Definitely enjoyed this. Looking forward to next week. I'd like to see more story next week because I feel like I didn't get my story fixed this week. All we really saw story-wise was Cueto coming out for those little... And then the Fame B and Dr. Wagner Jr. and random chick.
This was a great way to open the entire pay-per-view out, the biggest event for Lucha Underground. And I'm actually waiting for Prince Puma versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, yeah, that match is going to be. I feel like that match is going to be a classic as it pertains to Lucha Underground.
So it's time for our review time, everybody. All right, K-Mones Incorporated. Had to do a quick jump cut because the animals were barking at something. I don't know what the heck's going on in my life in general. But how many awesome Lucha Underground band performances, live band performances also, should I say? What'd you give it tonight?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Really good match content. Just that one point is just really because there wasn't enough stories. And so I was very generous with it, but like because the matches were just great, in my opinion. Like I liked all of them. So good episode overall. 9 out of 10.
Miggy Mania, you there?
Yep.
How many background barking chihuahuas would you give it tonight?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Don't live with people. That's my advice. Don't live with people. And for me, and finally, for me tonight, I'm going to give Lucha Underground a surprising, I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10. And people probably think I'm crazy. But if you have to look at Lucha Underground being the entertainment show and then have wrestling compared to something that would have wrestling and then entertainment, it was a very filler episode, especially for their big event. It was very filler. Like I feel like they kind of just took all the guys who they didn't have stuff to do with and just said, all right, night 1's all about you guys. Night 2 and 3 are about the big guys that we've been building for months, stuff like that. So it wasn't very strong of an episode in my opinion, but I think overall we're gonna get something great. So thumbs up for that, everyone. I will see you later after.